Hi, it's time to run your first data import. If you have seen our Getting Started video, you will recognize the instance I am about to use. And remember that the login page was automatically populated after registration. Now, the first step for this data import is to log in. Then we are going to make our way to the import module, which is inside the administration menu. Now that we are in the import view, I want to take a minute to explain the different sections. We have three sections here. The toolbar, always present, it holds all the controls. The library on the right will hold the specific fields the scheme you selected can import. And the content table view, which will be populated with your data. Import schemes are plugins which are dynamically loaded. They come from us or third parties. Ours will be identified in the list with a little flying pig, while third parties will have a wrench. We regularly add new schemes with software updates, so feel free to tell us which one you would like to see coming if it's not there yet. Now, let's load a scheme first. For this demo, I have already prepared a list of products and contacts, which will be enough for me to start invoicing, and it is probably what you are mostly interested in now. So let's start with the product scheme. As you can see, upon loading it, the library is populated with the available fields or keys this scheme supports. Now, we're going to load our products file with the data we want to import. The import module only works with CSV files as of today. When you load a file, the import parsing view will show you on the left side the parameters of the CSV file, and on the right side a preview of what those parameters will deliver. CSV is an overly abused format. Technically speaking, it is supposed to be comma-separated value files. But in reality, most programs use lots of freedom in interpreting what a comma is. This is why we offer these parameters, for you to be able to work with any CSV files out there. Just for your information, the CSV file I use in this demo was produced with numbers. Generally speaking, we tend to focus our compatibility with numbers more than any other programs. These parameters are the encoding, which will be extremely relevant if your language includes any accents, special characters, or if you're migrating from Windows. The field separator, which is the supposedly comma, but often is replaced by tabs or semicolon, is the character which separates columns in each row. The line ending, which is usually related to your platform of origin, is the character which separates lines. And the last parameter is for you to exclude eventually the first line, which may contain some column headers. When you're ready with the settings, you can see the result with a click on the preview button. As you can see, when I try with a semicolon, my preview is off, so I'll return to comma. When you're happy with the result, you can validate the configuration and your data will be loaded in the content table. I'm going to tweak a little the content table to see more clearly each columns. And now let's move to assign fields from the import schemes to my files columns. It's just as easy as a simple drag and drop. You notice that the column is highlighted, and when the drop is complete, the field name changes to include the column names as well. In my case, they are the same. If you wish to change the links, simply click the reset button on the toolbar or reassign the field to another column. I want to point out that most import schemes do not require you to use all their fields. They try their best to make it work with whatever you choose to run, eventually notifying you about any problems. Now that I am satisfied with my links, I'm going to import the file. If you noticed, the activity monitor on the top right corner was showing me network activity as the import module was executing my import. Now that you've seen how it works, I'm going to continue and do the same with the contacts. So I select the company contact scheme as my company profile is a B2B business. I select my CSV file previous settings were just fine, so I validated right away. I tweaked my content table that came out a little weird. Do my linking by drag and dropping. As you can see, my scheme included Boolean values, which in my file was filed as 1 or 0. Also, this particular scheme has a smart location import. I will show you what I mean by that later. Now I am ready, so I execute the import. And it's done. So you saw how easy it is to import your data in Edouard. I'm going to show you how it looks now in each section. Starting with the products. As you can see, all our products are here, and the localized information, designation and designation 2, have been inserted using the default language of the system. In the contacts, the companies have been created along with their statuses and locations. But when I go into the card, you can see that the market was found, but not the activity. That is because the market in my CSV file was already existing in Edouard, but that was not the case for the activity. When I go back to the products, you can see now that the same situation happens with the units. Edouard's powers comes from its very sophisticated data structure. Because of it, it's impossible for your previous system to be remotely the same as Edouard's. To resolve this problem, we recommend you to pre-populate some metadata from the administration if you wish to have this information imported. Of course, you can always edit your data afterwards, and to be perfectly honest, you will most likely do so anyways. As an example, the most common data change our users do once adopting Edouard is dropping all style codifications of labels, since our powerful search will look into the metadata, rendering these codes obsolete. But now, I want to tell you why I insisted on location. The location system in Edouard is a one-of-a-kind. It uses a single parenthood database, which you can edit at any time along with powerful controls, so you can fix any kind of data corruptions. Let me show you briefly. Let's go to the countries first. As you can see, I now have 4 US. That is because the default database comes with United States as a country label, and my file was saying USA. The smart location import failed to find a label matching country and created it when you needed to. That's the perfect situation for me to show you how the locations are imported and can be fixed at the same time. So let's move to the actual locations view. When I open the second USA country, you see that we have a tree of locations. That is the parenthood I was mentioning before. This tree works as such: country, states and regions, cities, zip or postal code. And on top, we have the locations that comes with your new instance. So first, I realized that I prefer my states to be in their 2-letter form, so I'm going to change California for CA. Then I'm going to change my country for USA. It will be more convenient later in my printing work. Inside my new CA, I have the default city of beautiful Cupertino. Now I'm going to drag and drop my newly made city of Santa Clara to my new CA state. Then I'm going to trash the other useless locations and trash the useless countries, which I easily identify since they don't have an address format. And voila! I have my locations reorganized. What happened in the background is all my contacts who had an address in Santa Clara with that zip had their addresses automatically fixed without you going through each and every one of them. That works for any problems you may have with your locations. We have a dedicated video on locations if you want to know more about them and their tools. And that concludes our first data import video. Make sure to follow us on your favorite social media. And if you have any more questions, check out our other videos or feel free to contact us directly from our website, edwardapp.com. Thank you for watching and see you next time.